see how we can make bigger enemies.
To be offended or frightened of everything.
So you've become like the sort of Tony Scarface of podcast.
Why would it be on me if it's this fucking show if I'm the guest?
A monkey with his arm in there. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the morning show. Not used to taking the lead when the Hefe is in. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Wednesday.
Now he rubbed off on you and you're saying Hefe. Don't follow his lead.
Yeah.
Yes, follow my lead.
That is bad.
I must permeate into your mind.
Hope everyone's doing well. Obviously, Ted isn't here today, so he's replaced by the one and only, the legend, Pantelis.
I'm not a legend, but yeah, I'm here because Ted Bird has decided to go on multiple speed dating rounds this morning.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's doing.
It's the breakfast dating.
Breakfast speed dating. Like nice eggs. Would you like to see a sausage?
Oh, man. Listen to the plugs, man. Patreon.com/Pantelis for all exclusive content that you're going to be more than glad.
Keep the lights on.
Yeah, and it'll help exactly keep the lights on the studio. Poseidon.com. I'm Poseidon.com. The Poseidon 69 on all platforms. And do subscribe on this channel. Help us grow. Fucking over 40,500 subscribers now. Congrats, sir.
Oh, yeah, it's true,
I
yeah.
don't know who is sitting here, but this is so weird. What about these coffees? How big are these fucking coffees, bro? What is this?
I was fucking asleep this morning. I'm like, I need an extra large one.
Like, I had, they're so big, I had the urge to, put them.
The only bad thing about these is that by the time you actually get the half, let's say, the rest of it is fucking cold.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's but anyways, they sell. People buy them.
How are you, man? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
Making news.
Making news. Yeah. We're making news as well. Fucking ridiculous, but you've been busy.
Yeah, I heard. By the way, I was speaking with some comedians in the green room, and Poseidon was actually there. If you don't believe me, and we were talking about one of your guests because they're like, you really have to get this guy on the French cast. Yeah. And then they were telling me I was watching on another podcast. And then,
the one that I gave you the contact for. That one? Okay,
one. But he was watching on your podcast.
Yeah.
And the comic tells us, I fucking love that podcast.
Get the fuck
it's
out
true.
of here.
Yes, I remember.
I go, that's my boy George. I go, it's weird because I've been telling him to do French and he didn't want to. And he's like, I fucking listen up. I love that podcast. And then I go, yeah, George knows what he's doing. Except I go, don't hold it against him. He's the reason why Trudeau is prime minister. and then he goes, look, we're all to blame for that. He goes,
That's how you know he likes the show, bro.
he goes, we're all to blame for that. He goes, it's not. I go, no. He had a real hand in it.
Oh, that's very nice.
Go, but they love your show.
That's cool. That's cool. It's been picking up, honestly, and I mean, we obviously did it for fun, like everything we do, because we don't get paid from it or anything like that. But ever since the beginning of this year, it's been fucking growing like crazy. We've been bringing guests. There are people now wanting to come on.
Yep.
They've on a few occasions they've taken clips and they've put them on. I've sent them to you on LCN. And it's always, the controversial shit, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, look what he said. Like, we had Éric Duhem, the leader of the Conservative Party, and we asked him, we're like, listen, dude, the Conservatives are doing well. You have the Conservative kind of backing here in Quebec. Why the fuck don't you just jump on the bandwagon and get elected with Poilievre?
I'm busy. I'm taking showers with my father.
My parents need me. So he went on and he gave us
too much.
He's like, no, I know Poilievre, we're friends, but we have a mission here in Quebec. And then he's like,
what's your mission to fail miserably?
and then he's like, but the door's not closed. Like, I mean, it's 49.50. So they played that clip on the news and it was like, what the fuck is this? Like a referendum,
49.50. There's a 1% that's just lost in either.
Yeah. And then the other one that went fucking ballistic to the point where the guy was getting death threats. We had Pascal Bérubé, and that's the last one I sent you. He's the prominent figure in the Parti québécois, Pascal Bérubé. And we brought him on. One of the best guests that you want to have for a podcast, right? It's not the one that you're like, okay, question, answer. Really fucking loose, like just go. He understands what the content, what he was there for, right?
Loosey-floosey, as they say.
This guy, he was recruited, and we said the story on another episode, but he was recruited by Legault when he was like a youngster. So he worked for Legault back when Legault was in the PQ. So it's like Legault is his mentor, you know what I mean? Like they developed a friendship, whatever. And the question was, dude, man, you get up now in the House and you're attacking the government and you're looking up and the guy that you're attacking is your
Taking
old
out his own
boss.
sister. You're like, that's inappropriate, sir. We're in the parliament.
What is your sister doing in the house?
And then he goes, hey, we're back on TikTok.
This is a student versus the master.
So then he's going off on stories on how they still maintain a friendly relationship, blah blah blah. And then he goes off into the story, like of the thousands of stories that he could have possibly said. He's like, oh, I remember once, I was on a Friday during COVID, I text messaged him. I was in Montreal. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? Come by my office. I'll bring a bottle of wine. Okay. And, they chit-chatted politics. And then jokingly, he's like, oh, but I got to go because you put a fucking curfew. And then Legault said, hey, you want me to sign you a paper? And we're all laughing because it's fucking funny. And that clip, dude, went fucking. They picked it up in Paul Arcand had it on the radio on Monday morning. It was picked up by LCN. They commentated on it on RDI. It was crazy. Like I was getting death threats.
Why?
Because they're like, fuck you, man. I couldn't see my mother. I couldn't see my grandmother.
Can I tell you what I hate about the media? Oh, this is when you guys got to call them out on this bullshit. During this whole thing, when dudes like me were going online, and you were here, saying how stupid and useless it was and how the government was doing whatever they wanted and how none of this made any sense, they backed the government. They never questioned authority. They were all like, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. There's no COVID after this time and before. They were being retarded. And then now, because they know it's bullshit, they go, this guy, he knew it was bullshit and he got away. How come I? Well, you were able. You were the news. Yeah. You could have spoken out at the time. You could have helped everyone. You pussies.
And it got out of hand to the point where even Éric Duhem made some political capital on it. He fucking issued a press conference.
Is he still around him?
Yeah. Anyway, and so Pascal Birubé calls and like, guys, man, can you take down that clip from Facebook? Because I clipped that part. It was fucking funny.
Oh, so you ruined his career. Right?
I didn't ruin anything. George goes, bro, guys, please, take it down. I'm getting death threats. This is a fucking clip that had like almost 8,000 views on fucking YouTube. Like it has more views than our regular episodes. You know what I mean? Like a stupid fucking reel.
That's funny.
And I'm like, oh fuck, man, so I'm like, we can't lose those numbers. So for now, it's private. Nobody can access it. Maybe in a couple of weeks we'll
the episode
publish
is just
it again.
that clip.
Just that clip. I'm not gonna fucking reduce that. I'm not gonna remove the whole episode. But just goes to show you how fucking people, man, are crazy.
Yeah, but you just gotta. People attack me too. You know what happens? You just ignore. You don't give a shit.
Of course, I didn't care.
They're lunatics.
It's just that. Yeah, I'm doing it with my friend Salim, and he's like, we're bringing politicians here. We don't want them to feel uncomfortable. We don't want them to feel like if they come here.
That's the difference between you and me. I want politicians to feel very uncomfortable around me.
So I'm like, okay, look, man, let's just take down the fucking clip for now, and then we'll see what happens. But
you did him a solid, though.
It's been going well. Yeah, and he's a cool guy. Fuck, look, the guy came on our podcast. Fuck, he didn't have to, and it's good, man. It's good. We have some amazing guests coming up. This week and next week as well, so it's gonna.
Anybody that I'd be interested in?
I think so. I mean, and this is what's going to be interesting because, and this is what I told you. Remember, I told you LCN has been playing they've been playing some clips. Yeah. We're getting this week Paul Larocque, who is like the face of LCN. Like anyone that tunes in, I'm sure you've seen Paul Larocque. No glasses. He's on LCN. He's the face of LCN.
See his face, yeah.
One of the most recognized, journalists in Quebec. And he's coming on a fucking podcast, so that's very intriguing to me. It's like, because there seems to be like this fucking battle now. You have the digital media going up, and then you have the traditional media fucking criticizing what's happening on YouTube.
I've seen that Google face. Yeah. Yo, Poseidon. So look at me. There seems to be a battle going on right now. The battle that we started 15 years ago.
Well, look, it's not new, but I mean, still relatively new. I mean, you started early on podcasting, but I think it's only in the last 5-6 years that it's really picked up, I think.
Well, it's because more people like less. You who were traditional media people, who were part of the traditional government, have adopted and have moved over. Now it's like undeniable to your cronies, because those guys are your cronies. They're used to you.
They're my people.
Yeah, they're used to your kind of people. And now like, wait, why is he here? Maybe we need to get there too.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a curiosity now. It's like, what are they doing? And can we do something similar? Let's test it out. I was shocked.
Similar?
Similar.
Similar to a squirrel.
So the fact that these guys, first of all, are allowed to do this, because I always thought that there's an exclusivity. If you're doing that show, fuck off, And I know that there is, because I had invited other guests. Our friend Jimmy Sudas, for example, who was Harper's right-hand guy when I had started.
What does he do now?
He's a consultant. He does government relations. He's also the honorary consul of Cyprus.
Harper?
Okay, yeah, no, Jimmy. Oh. So all these things, and he's every day on RDI at noon, I think, or 12:30. They have the Mordu de la Politique, so they have like 4 panelists, and they discuss, current affairs. And he's on that, and he's very good at it too. And I had called him initially. And he goes, yeah, Georgia, your podcast is interesting. It's perfect. You know, the backstage, it's exactly what we did. I'm coming. And then I never heard from him, which is no surprise. I mean, that's typical Jimmy, you know? But, and then I saw him pop up on these shows. And then I found out that there was an exclusivity thing that you couldn't do both. So the fact now that they're changing kind of this mentality, I don't know.
Everyone's watching and listening to podcasts. They're not watching TV.
But you know what, though?
If you want the eyes and ears, you need to be where everyone is.
But Québécois did something smart because they created the Cube Radio, which essentially is it's a fucking radio station, right? But it's not on traditional radio though. It's online. It's digital.
But it's still garbage. It's not where people don't understand. Podcasts, it's not like, oh fuck, it's on my phone. That's why I listen to it. No, you can listen to everything. You watch regular TV on your phone. That's not why. It's because of the content. People are tired and have been tired of that corporate bullshit. They want honest talk.
And you know the thing is that we're so used to that sort of pattern, that cookie cutter format on TV, where when you have someone coming out saying something that isn't in the norm or considered slightly a little off, and I'm thinking of Richard Martineau or his wife, which I never agree with them, but they're like the counter-current people. They get the fucking views. They understand. So the question is now, do they want more of that, or is it because they have that? Whoever wants to listen to that kind of content, go listen to Richard Martineau and his wife. I forget her name.
I'm going to be at the casino tonight. We forgot to plug it. I'm going to be at Playground Poker.
Oh, this is in
on the Native Reserve
in Kanawaki.
Yeah. I know you were going to say something else, sir, but they're known as natives, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
What time are you there?
8:00.
Ah, fuck.
Me, Joey, Elias, Heidi's going to be there. Amber, it's a good lineup. Kira, we're going to have fun just hanging out.
Someone told me to go to the casino. They renovated. Apparently, it looks really nice.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, they got they got like a shisha lounge where you can shish. They have a restaurant where you can restaurant. They have poker tables.
And your boy Freeway Frank is there too, I think.
Yeah, I just did this podcast. It's coming out tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, we talked about how we just need to start killing people.
Fucking
the whole
sniper.
episode.
Wait, what?
No.
I was saying, hold on a minute, bro.
What kind of podcast is this?
I thought Freeway Frank was cool.
He is. That's why I want to kill people.
What else have you been up to, man?
A lot of work, man. A lot of podcasting. I was in Toronto over the weekend. I had to do some rehearsals for something I'm going to start next week. And then I flew back right away Sunday night. There was a bit of a delay. But I must say, Porter, way better than Air Canada.
Really?
Way better.
They're investing a lot of money. I don't know if you heard, there's the new airport. Well, it's not a new. It's the old airport in St. Hubert, which is on the south shore of Montreal, in St. Hubert. But they always called it the Montreal kind of metropolitan airport, you know, because it's kind of linked to Montreal. Porter is investing kind of like they did at the Billy Bishop Airport, I think, in Toronto. And they're dumping loads of money there in St. Hubert.
Because it's a good hub, Montreal, because you can go anywhere. Because now they have flights, Porter. They're not direct. It's the only problem. That's why I won't take them. But they have flights all the way to LA. But it's a 15-hour flight. Oh, shit. Because of the 2 stops. So that's the only reason why I won't do it. But it looks like they're ambitious.
But if you have to go like in the radius, like you know, the northeastern kind of area, New York, Boston, whatever. Fucking,
they should be good. I've never taken a Porter flight outside of Montreal, Toronto. But I'm going to start doing more. It was a little delayed the second flight, but like by a half hour, big shit. Not like, but they actually told us it's going to be delayed, unlike Air Canada. It was comfortable, felt cleaner. And I realized they hire their flight attendants more old school style. Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, I think like a flight attendant should be more like
in the 40s type thing.
No. I mean old school, like the way they used to hire, like broads that could fit through the aisles. And they're dressed properly. And it's so like Air Canada. I've been taking some flights, and people come in, bro. It looks like they just found them on the street. Everything's fucking all over the place. Like there's sometimes they can't fit through the fucking aisles.
Maybe they're overworked too. You don't know. I don't know.
You know when I knew that Air Canada started going downhill is when they almost hired me.
Yeah, they almost hired him to be a flight attendant.
Yeah.
First, wait, back up, bro. But how do you just say that as if it's nothing? Just you wanted to be a flight attendant.
Thought about
for a moment because I was on employment insurance. So before, like, I have a sales background. I was kind of tired of it from the cars and stuff. I was like, man, what if I became a flight attendant? I get to travel. Plus, I heard these flight attendants, they're horny. You know, so I was like, I was young, you know.
We're on the street.
Because the air pressure, you know, it does something to their brain chemistry or whatever. And so I'm like, I get to travel, you know, and I get paid, and like I get to, you know, meet women and blah, blah, blah.
What's funny is on the way there, there was a flight attendant from Montreal to Toronto. I texted him about her because I go, dude, it's so funny. The men on the plane are all super distracted
That's funny.
because she looked like you pulled her out of like the 1970s. She just had the look, everything. And so I'm listening to music and you know, I observe. That's what I do. So I'm looking at people doing this, like. Look at her. I'm dying, bro. I'm dying. I'm like, this is the funniest fucking thing. I guess
Because you're not used to it anymore.
They're not used to it, yeah. I'm around broads all the time. It doesn't bother me. But it was just the funniest thing, just seeing them overreact. I'm telling you, I go, bro, they're losing their shit.
Yeah.
And you didn't get the job.
No, I complained about the pay.
interview.
No, the pay.
What the fuck is this, bro? I have to go through an interview.
I'm a man. I'm a man.
No, when they showed me the pay, I was like, "What?" Like I made like a face, and like they didn't.
Yeah,
but I made it to like the second process. I made it past the first interview.
Well, how the fuck did he make it past the? This guy can't make it through the aisle, and he made it past the first interview. That's what I'm telling you. Is Air Canada was desperate.
Oh man.
So but when when I made it past the first part, like I kind of like instinctivly knew, I'm like, "Ooh, this company's not
doing well.
not doing well, not doing too well."
I have a friend who's a flight attendant. You know her also.
Tonya.
Yeah. It's not easy, man. It's
I
not
don't know.
easy.
She was telling
no,
me
of
years
course.
ago. I was asking about it, but she was doing like the South.
She was on
trips.
Sunwing.
Yeah.
Well, I think
And,
she's still there.
Probably.
Yeah.
And I had asked questions too about that, and she's like, "It's fun, but that's more of a that's a good job if you're single and you don't have any attachments because you stay at a couple of places for a couple of days or a day, and you
Yeah,
run.
yeah.
It's kind of like being a road comic. If you're a road comic, but you have a family at home,
You're fucked.
super difficult.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's not easy. Nothing's easy if you're traveling and you have a family. I mean, not only comedy or being a flight attendant, anything. You have a sales job that makes you travel across the world. Of course, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
But all this to say, good airline,
Which one?
Porter.
Porter, yeah.
Yeah, I like
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that airport is. I've never landed on that airport, but I'm guessing it's so beautiful. At least you land downtown Toronto.
Pearson.
Yeah, no, Billy Bishop. So, by the way, Billy Bishop in the summer when I went to Toronto with Porter, that's where they brought us. This time, Pearson, both in and out.
Oh,
They
wow.
have their own little wing there too. And Pearson sucked actually because I was a little upset at where I was.
far.
Very hard to
Where
find
you at?
chargers
Oh yeah.
in the airport. I was a little upset.
Yeah, well, what's gonna happen with Air Canada being so garbaggio? Other airline companies are gonna start like coming up, and they're gonna be doing a better job and everything.
Oh man,
So they're gonna start
I don't
making
know.
more money.
I don't know. It's not easy fucking starting an airline company, dude.
But it is easy running it to the ground.
It is easier.
Whatever
to,
happened with Air Transat? Did they finally sell? 'Cause
Who?
Air Transat.
The thing is, they
Or
were
did it
riding
not
the
sell?
hype of trans for a while. Now the hype died down. People aren't that interested.
They're not interested in Transat
No,
anymore.
they're blocking puberty blockers for kids in the UK. It doesn't have the same hype around it like it used to.
You saw that news, right? I sent it to you for in the UK. Now you mentioned it.
Yeah, of course.
Last
I follow
country.
J.K. Rowling, so I know everything that happens in the UK.
So it's the last country to ban puberty blockers
For children.
for children, obviously.
Yeah, I don't care what adults do.
Yeah. And the National Post had an article about it because they're like, look what's happening in the EU. Okay.
And they're lunatics. And even they're like, this might be a bit much. We gotta calm shit down.
No, but think about it. I mean, the EU, the 24 countries now. I mean, a federation of 24 sovereign states that are obviously different, right? I mean, there's not, they're from one spectrum to the other. Decided commonly on this issue because there's really no evidence on any of this sort of practice. Yet here in Canada,
Might be a bad idea to chemically castrate children. I'm not a scientist, though, so I can't comment.
Yet here in Canada, we're so adamant about this shit, and doctors are now coming. They're starting to speak out about it. And the most interesting thing, and I didn't
Actually,
know.
can we say something about these doctors that are speaking out about it?
Yeah.
Transphobic. Because when we were speaking out about it before it was cool, that's what they called us. So transphobic doctors,
The main issue.
transphobic scientists.
The main issue is how quick they are to immediately just say, yeah, okay, we're going to put you on there. Like zero research, zero. I don't know. Maybe how about a psychological evaluation, maybe for something. You know what I mean? And
How about something without the lunatic parents in the room?
yeah, or have the parents in the room because oftentimes, well, actually, no, that's a little older when they're in high school. But so in the National Post, and I didn't know this, there was an undercover investigation conducted by Radio Canada. Okay?
Undercover.
Yeah, so they sent
Going to school. Hello, fellow children.
No, they
Who's
sent-
trans?
They sent a 14-year-old girl, okay, posing as a transgender, and they sent her into a private gender clinic, and it took 9 minutes after the quote-unquote consultation to prescribe her testosterone. Like, you walk
This is in Canada.
This is, yeah. This
Where?
Is I don't know where it was, but this is Radio Canada. They sent in an actress.
Radio Canada, so it's here in Quebec.
In Quebec.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
preposterous.
hilarious.
That's
Or else
crazy.
it would have said
Yo, we gotta
CBC.
get some testosterone, bro. Start beating up other podcasts.
So imagine that, bro.
I'm gonna identify as a man.
No one's gonna believe that.
No, so you walk into a fucking gender clinic, you're like, yeah, I don't feel, like I'm a woman anymore or whatever. Okay, sir, no problem. Come this way. What the fuck? It's that easy. It's that easy, man. We're gonna have issues, man. We're gonna have issues because it's starting to happen now in the U.S. And I know that Jordan Peterson has been talking about this for a long time. And obviously, being a clinical psychologist, he's exposed to this much more than anyone else, especially politicians. Where having realized that maybe they made a mistake, there are more and more cases now in the U.S. of people trying to convert back, and it's not easy. It's fucking not easy to do that.
So I have an old coworker. To work with him in video games years ago, who, when we were working, transitioned to female. And then, anyways, I hadn't seen him for years, and he messaged me. He's back to being a dude, but he has stuff that he can't, that fucked him up. And he's writing a book. He wants to come on the podcast, talk about when the book's done, about basically the cult behind it, like how he was kind of coerced into doing a lot of shit, and how it fucked him up. Like,
That's interesting.
yeah, so he wants to basically make it aware for like younger people. Like,
Yeah.
you have to take your time and you have
Like,
to be
what do you
aware.
think? Yeah, like, what do you think would have helped him? Like to sit down, have a consultation. Just, I don't know.
He'll tell me. I'm not gonna tell. I don't know what the fuck would have helped.
That's
but
interesting
maybe,
for me, yeah.
maybe that instead of people making you feel like you have to do this, there could be 1,000,001 reasons. Like, because there's some people that it's the only way.
Yeah.
Like they're 100% since they were born. You know.
Yeah, but some may be
wrong body.
confused, man. I don't
But
know,
that's the
yeah.
thing. I get confused. Like some people. No. But it's true. It could just be that, or also the way you, kids. Apparently, there's some kids that they're just gay kids. They're just a gay. It's a boy. He's gay. Let's say.
Yeah.
And people are fucking with him all the time. So he thinks, "Fuck, maybe I'm a chick. Maybe the reason why I don't feel good is
Yeah.
because I'm trapped in the wrong."
Yeah.
And then you rush him into it, and then later, if he regrets it.
He's like, no, fuck, I'm just a male homosexual.
Yeah, just let kids have their space, support them, be cool with kids, talk to them too. Don't scare your kids into not being able to tell you the truth.
But how the
'Cause
fuck
then
do
you're
we
gonna fuck 'em
not
up.
like? See, this is what bothers me severely. How do you fucking just jump into decisions like this without having proper evidence-based fucking
Because
research?
that's what we are now. We're this reactionary social media culture where if you ask the wrong question, people jump on you. You're phobic, you're a terrorist, you're this, you're that, you're anti this. People panic so much. Instead of the truth, instead of the real truth, they'd rather the convenient lie.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm not gonna rock the boat. Just like the curfew, just like the mask, just like all the people who said things were stupid, all that stuff was overreacting, dumb, were called conspiracy theorists, were attacked. Now that Fauci himself came out and said, I don't know why you did that, it's fucking stupid, gaslighting an entire fucking planet. Okay?
Fucking idiot.
Now the news is like, yeah, maybe, but they didn't have the balls. You have to come out when we need you to tell the truth. You have to be ready to fight for the truth, not when it's convenient. Even when it's scary, fucking tell the truth, or else we have problems like this. Be like me. Risk your whole life and have 80% of people hate you because you want to talk shit.
It just seems that every fucking day, every
By the
single
way,
day, yeah.
we were talking about planes. Did you see the Boeing thing?
Boeing is having a very bad year, eh? Or
Bro, what are you
has
talking
been
about?
having bad years.
Bro, there was an undercover. They went in, and the actual people making the plane, they're undercover. And like, what do you think of this plane? And the guy's like, it's fucking shit, bro. This is And he goes, would you fly on this plane? He's like, what are you, crazy? I'm never going to fly on a
No,
Boeing
but
plane.
you,
after
you didn't
the
hear
news
about the
came out-
whistleblower that
went
mysteriously died.
Yeah, in a parking lot.
Yeah.
And
And then he had even told his friends, by the way, I'm not suicidal if anything happens to me.
I had seen the Boeing stuff come out right away because I booked flights to Europe. Right away, I checked what kind of plane I'm flying on, and it's an Airbus. I was like, oh,
Yeah. I'm trying to think. if I ever-
Boeing Airbus.
ah!
I'm trying to think if I ever flew in a Boeing. I can't remember.
I've flown in Boeings for sure.
Eh?
For sure. If I've flown in Boeings for sure. But I
think-
didn't know it was this bad.
Boeings
Does
are
Air
the main.
Canada have Boeing?
No, them it's Bombardier.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Bombardier.
All of Air Canada's Bombardier. I don't think
Mostly.
I don't trust Bombardier either.
Boeing better than Boeing. Boeing is mainly in the United States. The plane.
What about Lufthansa, KLM?
Lufthansa? That's all Airbus. It's all European.
Okay.
Lufthansa.
But Lufthansa and Swiss Airlines have the best planes.
Yeah, the Swiss better.
Yeah.
They have all that Nazi gold money. They better fucking.
Guys, I'm sure they're good because I've flown with Swiss Air a couple of times and it's been good. But the one time when I went to Israel, I was in a little delegation that went to Israel.
Can you speak into the microphone, please?
Yeah, and we flew. It was a connecting flight through Switzerland. So we flew to Switzerland and then we grabbed Swiss Air to go to Tel Aviv.
This was to bomb Palestinian children.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And the worst fucking turbulence, dude. The entire time, my head was between my knees. I had the bag. I couldn't. The fucking thing kept dropping. I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? I could.
They're throwing rocks at us.
Slingshots. Yeah. So, but I'm sure the airline is good. It's just that one flight that was horrible, man.
Is it the Swiss? I don't trust them either.
Horrible. Everybody was puking in the plane. Fuck it.
So what kind of news you got for us today?
Well, speaking of Israel, I don't know if you followed what happened on Monday night.
I didn't.
In the parliament.
I haven't caught up in my Jewish news. What happened?
So a Monday night, and this is very interesting because I'm invited by CJPAC. CJPAC is the Canadian Jewish Political Affairs Committee. I sit on their political advisory board. And
You're advising the Canadian Jews?
Canadian Jewish Political, yeah.
Are they aware that you're a Greekster?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how smart they are. They blend in with society. Anyway, so they had this little thing. It's not the first time they invite me. They have very fun events. They have youngsters that are interested in politics. They want to get them more engaged, whatever. So they have different little lectures to kind of talk with their youngsters. So we're there, and at that same time, my buddy there, he's fucking looking on his phone, and because they were debating in Parliament in Ottawa, it was the NDP that tabled a motion to for Canada to recognize the state of Palestine, to cut immediately all arms sales to Israel, to secure humanitarian aid, etc. So it was a whole list of things, and all hell broke loose in Ottawa. It was a huge debate. I don't even know why they fucking allowed it to be debated, but in any case,
What do you mean? That's what democracy is. You allow debate.
Well,
I don't know why they allowed it.
because normally you table a motion if there's no consent. It just doesn't pass. Your motion goes nowhere, right? So for me, it just doesn't make sense. The fact that the Conservatives already knew that they were going to vote against it, why did they consent to the motion to being tabled? So
I like that. I like that they did that. They put it out there. So even though I know I'm not going to like something,
Yeah.
I'd rather talk about it, debate it, maybe change my mind.
okay.
I'm with them.
I agree with you.
Good job, Millhouse.
So they're debating, and this thing lasted all night, right? On a stupid fucking motion.
What was the big debate in?
The big issue was the recognition of the Palestinian state, and not because we don't want to recognize the state of
Can I
Palestine.
tell you why this bothers me?
Yeah.
The big issue should have been, are we supplying weapons and money to either side? That should have been the big debate.
Well,
Are we
Canada
helping
already.
kill people?
Well, Canada already has an agreement with Israel. I mean, it's not now. They didn't start now. Question is, if you stop that now, what happens? You know what I mean? They're fighting a fucking terrorist group over there. Of course, the situation in Gaza is horrendous. Yes, they're talking about a possible case of famine in Gaza. So it's not pretty. At the same time,
That's what I'm saying. So if we're like, we wanted them to have their country and to be safe, right, Israel? So like, yo, we'll help you, we'll give you some drones. But now that we see that they have enough weapons to fight terrorists, but a lot of these bullets are going into the heads of children, shouldn't we be like, hold on a second. As Canada, there's too many casualties. We can't support this. Why are we still saying, like, we're willing to be like, all right, fucking 67 kids died. One of them may have grown up to be a terrorist. I don't think we should be doing that.
It's a delicate issue because you have these members of Hamas that are hiding in the city, underground, under buildings, in hospitals, in schools, in institutions, in libraries, wherever the fuck they are.
Okay.
How do you fucking attack these guys without any collateral damage? It's almost impossible. So there's like this moral, now ethical question. What do? Do we stop and let these guys persist? Or do we go forward?
Follow-up question. Didn't they just bomb a refugee camp?
I don't know. No, I heard that they were supplying aid, and something happened. A couple of people got shot. Whatever.
Also, what about
it wasn't pretty.
What about yeah, exactly. So it wasn't pretty. What about Netanyahu's speech? Who said the whole goal is to take all those people, whoever can escape, push them off to Europe, to other countries, let them handle it, so we can level the whole place and take it over.
I don't know about
Isn't
that,
that a clear sign of the intent is not to just kill terrorists?
Look, I mean, anything.
Because I'm all for killing terrorists.
Yeah.
I'm all for getting revenge for what happened October 7th. But right now, it looks like the big picture has nothing to do
No,
with.
I know, and it's easy to jump into those arguments as well because nobody understands clearly what's going on the ground. Also, just on a side note, you probably heard about this. There's I think it's in the West Bank. I'm not sure where it is, but there's a whole section. I think it's in the West Bank where you have Canadian real estate promoters, Jewish real estate promoters that are investing over there in real estate projects, and obviously, you're not supposed to. I mean, based on international law, there's no occupation or anything development that should be happening over there. So there's all these things that are coming out. Whether they're true or not, I don't know. But
What happened?
Exactly. Pay attention, bro. Listen to this.
But anyway, so this motion now, the main.
Wait, repeat that. What are these Jewish real estate agents doing?
Yeah, did you hear about this? Because they I don't know how true it is, but I read somewhere that there were Canadian, Jewish, or Israeli real estate development firms that they were selling opportunities there in West Bank to invest.
Why is everything a property scam with them? Why is everything about?
What my associate's trying to say is Jew's gonna Jew. That's so funny.
Yeah. So look, all this to say
It's
that
literally the signs.
There's bombs, it's exploding, and the guy's like, "Look, I got a fucking deal for you."
It's like those guys that put up the signs.
The corpses won't be there. Don't worry. We'll take care of the corpses. Are you interested?
It's Shlomo putting up signs. I'll buy your house cash. Don't worry about that. Don't worry.
This is ridiculous.
so look, it's tough to judge
I love
what's happening on the ground.
stereotypes.
The issue, though, with this motion, and this is obviously the most obvious to me argument. How? Okay, let's say we want to recognize the state of Palestine, which Canada hasn't done so yet.
Why don't we do that?
I don't have an issue with that. Problem is, how do you recognize a state whose government is on your own terrorist list? You understand?
Right.
So, how about you reverse the formula? Say, okay, let's take care of the issue, and then let's help you rebuild a country that we will recognize, or a nation that we will recognize.
May I retort? May I?
Yeah, of course.
This is going to make you upset, but it's the truth. We, as in Canada, not me, were supporting the Netanyahus and the Israeli government, right? They're the ones who wanted Hamas. They're the ones who funded Hamas and said that that's best case scenario for him will be for them to take over that country. They did take over Palestine. And then now he's using that as an excuse as a terrorist nation. But these are people that he's funded and he wanted them. And this is on the record. He said this has come out a few times since October 7th, that he said the best case scenario is for them to take over. We support them. They was giving them money so that they could have an excuse to be like, look at these fucking terrorists, we could bomb them. So you can't say, we support you, we want you to be the government. Then they take over the government and you're like, we can't support these fucking terrorists. You're the ones who fucking empowered them.
Yeah, I've heard that.
You're the ones who fucking empowered them. What are we talking about now? I don't like these lies. That's what my problem is, these fucking lies.
I heard somewhere that apparently the whole reason for this is because Israel needs the Gaza Strip, because you know how there's the Suez Canal and Egypt profits massively from it? Egypt.
From the Suez Canal.
Yeah, the Suez Canal, that's the canal that, all the boats come through, for the Mediterranean and everything, and they go into Europe.
That's man-made.
No.
Suez Canal?
No, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
The Suez Canal, of course, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's man-made. I think I don't know how true this is. This is what I read online and heard.
They
this
want to
was like
circumvent the Egyptians and just be like, yo, come to us.
and then because there's the Gulf of
But this has been a long time. They've been talking
Gulf
about
of
creating.
Aqaba?
They've been talking about another canal going from the Red Sea through Israel into the Mediterranean.
How about this? Listen to this. New canal goes through Israel and through Palestine. Economic development, everyone's making money. The Palestinians are making some money. The country gets to prosper. Israel's making some money. They're high-fiving each other in the desert. We move towards a progressive, happy future.
Yeah, but
Vote for me.
But see that situation was actually foreseen without necessarily the canal, but when Trump signed the Abraham Accords,
Yeah, good dude, that Trump.
it was an amazing opportunity for exactly what you said. Economic and social development in the Middle East. There were partnerships that no one had ever even imagined.
Yeah, freeze right there. I'm very glad that you brought this up, because that's the kind of shit that the Orange Man was doing. and he was deemed evil. We're actively helping slaughter children, continue a war, destroy a country, and we're like, this is it. It's going to be dangerous if Trump takes over and goes back to. Could you imagine if we go back to peace? Could you imagine how terrible that would be if children stop getting murdered?
And it's just it's just a funny coincidence. Sorry, I'll just finish up with this. It's just a funny coincidence that just weeks before Saudi Arabia was about to sign the Abraham Accords, boom, fucking Iran planned this whole proxy war
Allegedly.
there. It is Iran. I mean,
No, but I mean, there's something clearly deeper in this. It doesn't make sense because we also know that the IDF was warned about this shit and they didn't take it seriously, or they knew.
That is a whole other internal issue that Netanyahu's going to have to deal with. The fact that the most secure border in the world, from one of the countries that is the most developed, especially in warfare, to be taken by surprise like that is questionable.
Oh, it's almost like they were willing to sacrifice people for the greater goal that they had.
And Netanyahu has a coalition government. It's a minority situation over there, so his political stability isn't really guaranteed either. What were you saying?
And apparently the reason why I was going to say this about the bank that they want to make going from the Gulf of
the Red Sea.
Aqaba, and they make a canal leading out into the Mediterranean. That's why apparently the U.S. is so buddy-buddy with them too, because it'll give U.S. another option. So let's say if there's an issue now going through the Suez Canal, people try to block them or whatever, if it's blocked or anything, they now have an ally and another option to get stuff through into the Mediterranean.
Of course, you need that, especially because we're a capitalist. This is amazing.
So that's why I think...
nice and hot, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I think that's why the U.S. is so like... Canada is U.S.'s... What's wrong?
Just fucking, you're talking, and this guy's just casually pouring.
Yeah,
The sound is like I'm pissing. Yeah.
You can't hear it.
Okay, no, but we could because we have no headphones on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You're talking and
Oh, but you can't hear it. You can't, yeah.
he's dying. He's trying to keep a straight face.
Okay, yeah, it probably sounds more ridiculous.
Hilarious.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of projects in the area,
Which are not bad.
And of course not.
But
and now
this
they
is what you need.
But
Peace
it's not.
presidents.
It's not.
They've
It's
all
not
gone
the
to
way
shit.
you do that. It's not honestly. What they should have done peacefully is
It's the Trump thing, the Abraham Accords. Everyone's fucking prospering.
because
Everyone's at
yeah.
peace.
basically that's why they're and it makes sense that that's what they want to do, and that's why they're raising the Gaza Strip. They're just freaking eliminating.
Here's the thing: it's human lives, bro. That's what people. I don't mind.
But to these people, it isn't human lives.
We're talking about human lives. Same thing with the Israelis. Like let's say when Hamas went in, right?
Yeah.
The people that they shot, the people that they kidnapped, these were not IDF soldiers. These were regular people, international Jews from the States, from wherever the fuck they were partying.
They were unarmed civilians.
So it's all, this is what bothers, people keep forgetting. They go, Hamas, Israel, and they're like, fuck Jews, fuck Muslims. Bro, the only people that are dying are innocent people. So the more you say fuck the Jews, fuck the Palestinians, whatever side you're on, it's not the governments that are getting hurt.
No, the side effects are
The
much
side
more.
effects
like
are
that.
huge, bro, because I see people online, I have friends of mine who are either deeply on one side or on the other.
Yeah.
And they keep calling the other side murderers, baby killers, whatever the fuck you want. But it's like, you're both so stupid, you don't see because of your stupid governments. It's all your kids, your future generation that's being affected by this. That's who's being fucking affected by it. Stop arguing it. Just stop it.
First of all, you're killing off future generations, and even the ones that survive are gonna have problems. You're setting them back years.
It's very, very bad. That's why I'm telling you, the Trumpster, he had it right. You look, man. You gotta admit it. You gotta tell the truth.
I was shocked when they signed the Abraham Accords and I read what it was. I was
Huge.
like, what the fuck is this? This is like, who? Nobody. No, there is no president in the U.S. that ever did that.
And I will explain why. Because people
There
go,
were
how
peace
is that?
accords, right, by the way, before between Israel
but not like
and
this.
Palestine. But
Not
it was
like
only
this.
those two countries and it never lasted. They always broke the agreement. But this was huge.
And I will tell you why, because it looks like Trump figured the thing that I was saying for years, and people said it's impossible if he did the same thing, because he's just as dumb as I am. And if it looks like it works, the majority of people, when you talk to them, actually sit down and are fucking reasonable, okay? They're not fanatical, but it's easy to fanaticize people. and don't want war if there's another option on the table. The issue with every other president is that they're bought and paid for by the military-industrial complex. So it's not their intention, like I'm Pantelis and I'm like, you know what? I don't want George to fight with Mahmoud. I don't want that. That's me. It's not that. It's what is fucking Halliburton telling me? What does BlackRock want? And then you're like, all right, so we can't? No, there's no peace there. They're crazy. There's no peace. Sign this to send them weapons. Okay. Whereas him, he was like, fuck that, bro. I do deals all the time. I know Jews. I know Muslims. Let's fucking do this. So he went in there. He's like, bro, what? You want your kids to die? Why? Let's all fucking make money. Let's all prosper your future generation. And they all sat down. They're like, yeah, why am I going to fucking kill these people? He did it. And then what did it take? It took Biden less than fucking 4 years to have his cronies, the same deep state, go back in there and be like, let's fuck everything up.
But it's because the war is beneficial to everyone, even the banks.
Not us. It's beneficial to these fucking upper echelon.
Yeah, well,
it's beneficial to the Soros.
Beneficial for the region there.
It's beneficial to the Soros. It's beneficial to Trudeau's. It's beneficial to these fucking idiots, Halliburton, all the companies.
So anyway, so this fucking motion.
And sorry, I'm cutting you off, George, but because like, what's crazy is to them, where it's not even like human lives.
No, they don't care.
It's like a video game.
Yeah.
It's like they're playing an online video game to them. How we play an online video game and you keep dying. And
These
you kill
are,
other people.
can we not forget that these are death cultists? These are all people, including Bill Gates, that all talk about reducing the population. They don't value human life. They don't see you as a fucking human being. And then we're listening to them on why there can't be. And also, it's another crazy thing. We just had this region have peace for a while and actually bring in the Saudis and actually talk about changing the whole region so everyone prospers and there's peace and they're happy together. We talked about this. We were doing it for years. So we see it's possible. And then they come in, they're like, fuck this shit. Let's start another war. And everyone's like, these fucking people, these Jews and these Muslims just can't get along. Yeah. They're always we just had them get along. And the guy who made it happen, we're saying that he's a warmonger, the guy who didn't start any war. Yeah. Bro, it's fucking crazy talk. It's legit 1984. It's fucking ingsoc.
It's crazy. But just to finish on the motion, because
somebody said deep state messing with the audio.
Do we have an issue with the audio?
Oh, what? I came back and Pantelis is a Terminator. What's happening with the audio?
Did the robot voice me?
No. It's on mute anyways, so it wouldn't affect.
Now. How do you hear me?
Normal.
So it's just through the stream, bro. The government's.
Whoa! Let me open up YouTube. Hold on. Maybe it's.
Are you getting any of the comments?
Yeah, they're saying there's something wrong with our voices.
So yeah, just to finish on the motion, because and this is where it's getting interesting, because you have Anthony Housefather who gets elected here in TMR.
That guy's a douchebag.
Normally he's a douchebag, but on this issue he actually stood up.
Oh, we're back. Okay.
No, it's okay. No.
No. Yeah, it's very like grainy.
I don't know what it's like, bro. Oh, crazy.
Interesting. All right, we'll keep going. If it's an issue, man, may you guys let us know.
Something out.
All right.
Yeah, so...
Disconnect the audio, reconnect it on OBS.
So this is the problem with this motion. So they're presenting the motion. Okay, they're debating it. He was clearly against it. He went against his fucking party, which, anyways, I don't understand how Justin could, go along with the NDP on this issue here, completely changing their foreign policy in the region that has been consistent for fucking decades. Anyway. And this is the issue now. So there's a disagreement now in the House. There's a debate. And then at the 11th fucking hour, the Liberals come up with a brand new motion.
Oh, it sounds good.
It's good?
Yeah, I reset the settings.
Okay. So at the 11th hour, you have the Liberals now that present a brand new motion with a couple of amendments. The NDP agrees to it, and they pass to a vote. So everyone now is up at arms. Well, the Conservatives didn't give a fuck because they were going to vote against anyway.
Yeah.
Okay? But you have guys like Anthony Housefather now who's like, how do you just magically come back into the House and say, okay, we got a new motion. Here are the amendments. It was done so quickly. They weren't even done in French, which goes against the procedures of the Parliament. And they voted on it immediately. So Anthony Housefather is like, hey, dude, this is an infringement on our privileges as parliamentarians. We need to have the fucking motions that are going to be tabled during the day beforehand so we can analyze them and see them and, present our arguments. Mm-hmm. Last minute, okay, here are the amendments, new motion, table, for, against, boom. And the motion passes. Now, again.
May I interject?
Yes.
Where'd you get this coffee, by the way?
What do you think? It literally writes to more. You're the only one complaining.
No, but which one?
You're the only one complaining, though.
It could be.
Making a face. So, Housefather, who said this infringes Don't do that. We're doing a podcast.
Sorry, go ahead.
Mate, don't do that shit. So, house father who said this infringes on
The privileges, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember him voting against my rights as a Canadian, against your rights as Canadian, when he was all for that Emergencies Act that stripped away our rights.
Yeah.
So do you remember when that piece of garbage, Anthony Housefather, voted against everyone's rights in the country? You guys remember that? So on behalf of fucking almost 40 million Canadians, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I mean, go fuck it. I mean, look, I'm not gonna say that. I mean, this is something that
I did.
This is something that
I'm not,
affects him
dude. I am not
personally.
forgetting about this shit.
No,
This affects him personally. But 40 other million people, their rights get fucking taken away because of his
yeah.
fucking stupid bitch leader.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Here's what I'm gonna say, and you probably remember this when I was telling you back in the day that I'm convinced that there's people in the caucus that don't agree with Trudeau, but they're just going along with it because that's the fucking party line, and that's how shit politics
That's
is over
a
here.
lack of integrity.
Exactly. So. And we see this very rarely, right? That people step off course. Joel Lightbound did it, but then he voted in favor along with his party, which was weird.
Yeah,
right?
I liked him. And then the second he voted against my rights, I said, fuck Lightbound too.
That made no sense. Like you just came out and you destroyed your party leader, and then when the time came to vote, you voted along with him. So anyway, so Anthony Housefather voted against it. Obviously, he wasn't the only one in the Liberal caucus. There was also what's his face, Marco Mendicino. That voted against it. So anyways, there's a couple of people, 2-3 people. And since then, they've been questioning Anthony Housefather as to what he's going to do. He's in reflection. He's really upset that his entire caucus didn't stand by him and that they just quickly change their policy on this.
Wow, almost as if it's similar to what his entire caucus, himself included, did to the entire country. Interesting.
The issue, man, is that, and this to me doesn't make, and I know that this is a dividing issue in society, and we're not going to go there. We're not for or against anything. The problem is,
I'm against a lot of things.
that you have one democratic nation in the Middle East, okay, that you've been supporting for generations, okay,
The United Arab Emirates.
Israel, it is the only Western country in that region.
Why do we keep saying that they're Western? They're not really Western.
Well, their values are much closer to us than, for example, in Iran or in Syria or in Yemen or in any of these countries.
That's not true either. I'll tell you why. Because we fucked up those countries. Syria was a badass nation.
Yeah, so was Lebanon.
Yeah. We helped fuck them up, and then we're like, look at these barbarians. But they were cool places to be. In the 70s, people were going to Syria to get educated from fucking Europe.
Dude, Egypt in the 60s, I think, was more progressive than the United States.
But Egypt,
I don't know about that, but they were way more progressive than Egypt of today.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You can't. This is because we always say the half truths. This is what I fucking hate about. This is what's gonna drive me crazy. I'm gonna be an old man yelling in the fucking street one day because you just need to look at the history. This is all documented. I'm not making. So these countries were all progressive. We bomb and we cause war and we fuck the shit out of all of them. We send them back into this prehistoric mindset. Okay, we turn them into fanatical Islamicized countries. We fuck their shit up and then we go, look at these fucking barbarians. We're the only democratic country here. Because you destroyed everyone around you. I can't, if I set all my neighbor's house on fire and then be like, dude, I have the fucking best house here. Yeah, because you killed everyone.
I'm just curious to see how this is going to turn out in the next election because, and this is because I've been thinking about Anthony Housefather ever since Monday, and I'm thinking, okay, you get elected in a very safe riding that votes liberal all the time. So if you're Anthony Housefather, what do you do right now? If you stay with the liberals, okay, because it's not his fault. It's not Anthony Housefather that suddenly has lost his values. It's not his fault. It's the fucking party that collectively has gone to fucking shit, and he's left by himself thinking, whatever happened to the values that we had as liberals?
I don't know. You let your values go a few years ago
Yeah.
to fuck us, so fuck you.
So here's the
Am I right?
That's
Pussy.
very well said, actually.
So here's the thing now. He stays within the Liberal caucus. He is going to get reelected in TMR, but he's going to be in opposition because the Liberals are going to fucking get destroyed in the next
that's
election.
the problem. You can't be liberal with
Or-
the caucus. You can't just
Or
pull it up.
you step down. I don't see him going into the Conservatives because if he goes to the Conservatives, he's going to lose that riding for sure. So what do? If I were in his place, fuck off, leave, man, leave. You don't need this shit. You're going to spend another 4, or well, it's not 4 years. I think they're going to be in opposition for at least 10 to 15 years. The Liberals. There's going to be a long reign of the Conservative Party after the next election. I think.
Thank God.
So what are you going to do? You're going to stay for the rest of your fucking career, political career in opposition? Fuck off, man. Okay, you stood up. The Jewish community at least values your honesty and your integrity on this issue. You're the only one, pretty much the only one that stood up against his own fucking party. Stick it to them. Say, go fuck yourselves. I'm completing my mandate and I'm resigning, and that's it. So
But he's a politician. Apart from organized crime, what other job can he do?
he was a municipal councillor, I think, before. He's a lawyer, actually. He can go back to practice law, whatever. Interesting to see what's going to happen. They're going to get decimated, man, honestly. So you have so back to the story. So I was there on Monday, and the next morning, my friend calls me again. He's like, "Did you see what happened in the house?" I'm like, "Dude, I can't believe that fucking passed." He goes, "I can assure you that if there was any doubt on whether or not the Jewish community would support the liberals, I think that pretty much settled it."
So what does that mean? They're not going to support the liberals?
They're done. They're fucking done.
Good.
They're done.
Nobody should support
It's just one mistake after another. I don't understand how Justin Trudeau is still there. I don't understand.
There is something funny about Justin Trudeau fucking over Palestinians and Jews with what he says at the same time, so everybody just hates him. But we're still sending military aid to Israel, to the Turks. We're helping the Azerbaijanis and the Turks kill Armenians. How come nobody talks about that?
Yeah, nobody talks about that.
Why are we supporting,
Sorry.
as a country, why are we supporting the death of innocent Armenians?
This is what happened. And this happened, I think, 2 weeks ago. I don't know if we spoke about this here.
Didn't he also give money to Ukraine?
We promised, I think, $40 million more.
They're giving money to.
And now I heard Poland. One of their generals said that the casualties for the Ukrainians are in like the high millions.
Yeah.
Really?
And you know what Lindsey Graham did these fucking losers. Goes meet Zelensky, and what does he tell him? He goes, the military age of conscription, just lower it because you need more soldiers.
Oh my God.
So start taking in like 14-year-old boys into the military.
Bro, stupid.
And all these people that put Ukrainian flags in their bios and they're for the war to continue because they're being told that they're winning, which they're not. We're sending these people to the slaughter because nobody wants to negotiate peace because they don't want. This is the thing that's further behind this, bro. The whole egging Russia into doing this is just because we didn't want them to have that pipeline. This is all for money. This is all for money destroying Russia. So we're willing to sacrifice.
And Ukraine was sacrificed.
You have Canada that sent the fucking peace to repair it. What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
When they bombed the fucking pipeline.
You're talking about Nord Stream.
Was it Nord Stream?
No, Nord Stream is the underwater one that they didn't admit until now.
There was another pipeline.
It was Sweden special forces that figured out that it was the U.S. and NATO forces that destroyed it. They were lying about it. They caused
There was another pipeline that apparently broke down, when the war broke out.
That wasn't a pipeline. That was one.
No, but even though there were sanctions from the West, Canada still sent. I can't remember what it was. For Russia to build.
Yeah, you know why? Because they're supplying the gas. They're supplying energy to Germany and to other.
Dude, like fucking 2/3 of Europe gets Russian energy.
So they want to go to war with Russia, which they are, right? Their line of war is the European NATO countries, okay? And they go, we're going to get you guys. We're going to sacrifice them to fight Russia, so that then when Russia's demolished, we take over all that energy. I'm saying, not even the Americans.
West.
This is the West, and this is the people that control that. It's not the everyday people that are going to make money off.
Yeah.
They knew, but the Europeans obviously are fucking stupid. The Europeans are fighting the people that are giving them electricity. So Germany was the first when they were like, fuck Russia, we're going against them for Ukraine. And then they started losing power. And they're like, wait, why is it so expensive? Why are we all... Because the energy you were getting, fucking Gazprom or whatever, was from the Russians. And you just said you're going to bomb them. Why would they give you electricity if they're so stupid, these fucking people? And now the same thing. We're sending these Ukrainian kids to get slaughtered and we're egging them on because we don't want to negotiate peace because it's all about money and control. It's lunatic shit. Lunatic shit.
So what you're telling me is the West wanted to screw over
Don't
Russia?
say the West because I'm part of the West and I didn't want to
No, but I'm talking about the elite, the elites, the powers that be of the West wanted to screw over Russia in energy. And in turn... they sacrificed Ukraine.
Yep.
And in the meantime, Zelensky profited off of that sacrifice as well.
Zelensky's profiting monetarily a lot, yeah.
It's way more than that. It's way more.
No, but I mean, if you were to simplify it for the everyday person.
Think about it.
No, hold on.
It's also an excellent pretext for these global institutions to grow, right? I mean, because now you're having talks with the EU growing further east. You have NATO, they just expanded north with Sweden and Finland.
Can I ask you a question? Wasn't NATO supposed to stop expanding in the 90s?
Yeah, there was an agreement.
Yeah, it was after the USSR fell or something.
Yeah, bro, this is because the whole point of NATO...
a little after that.
When did they fall? 96? When did it fall?
No, 89.
89, sorry.
Yeah. But a little after that. But at the same time, though, you have independent nations now. They've gotten their sovereignty from the former Soviet Union. They're free to make their own decisions. And if they feel that I want to be in NATO, what's to stop them? Because there was a former agreement with...
No. Stop. Let's not bullshit around. This wasn't, for some reason, Ukraine being like, you know what? We know that this was planned. They were being egged on for a while. It was the U.S. threatening first to allow them into NATO to fuck with Russia. And Russia said, look, we're not touching anything. But again, if you threaten again to add another country, especially the Ukraine, and if the Ukraine actually enters it, we're going in. We're not allowing more missiles to point towards us. So they tell you, if you do this, we're going to bomb you. And then what do? You're going to join NATO. We tell them that? Like, we're going to join NATO. They get attacked and we're like, how the fuck did this happen?
Yeah.
How did this happen?
Look,
But so you're telling me the casualties in Ukraine are what? High?
it's not only Ukraine. Russians too have died,
yeah.
man.
But
There's a lot of Russians that are deserting the army now.
There's a lot,
Yeah, but there's a lot of Ukrainian civilian deaths as well.
I read an article where there are Russian soldiers now that have defected and they're fighting on the Ukrainian side. So there's a bunch of,
But that's gonna happen.
That's called propaganda.
No. I can't remember.
But either way, I don't care
think it was
about any of that.
Associated
You know
Press.
why? Because I'm not responsible for the Russians. What I am responsible for being in the West is the money, my tax money, that's being sent to the Ukraine. So it's not that I don't feel bad for Russians. I don't want Russians to die either. But I feel more bad for the Ukrainians who are being sacrificed so that we can make more money in the future off fucking gas and all the hell, whatever we want to take over from Russia. I feel bad that we're sacrificing an entire generation of Ukrainian children.
It's a larger agenda that doesn't necessarily include Ukraine in the future.
It doesn't.
That's what it is. Yeah. It's sad to see.
But we don't talk about it. In politics, that's not what they say. In politics, they say we got to stop them. Russia, for no reason, attacked the Ukraine and they're trying to take it over. We don't say the full truth. We're the ones who set them up. We egged them on. We provoked the attack. And in hockey...
Oh
hockey,
my God.
Poseidon, stop being distracted. Just in hockey, a sport where men are still allowed to be men, you could get 2 minutes for instigating. Because they're aware that most fights are instigated, it's not random. So we're not talking about the fact we instigated the Russians. We knew, they told us what they were open with us. They said, stop it, you do this, you point another fucking NATO missile towards us, we're gonna attack. And what did we do? We pointed another fucking gun at them. And then we're surprised. Why? Why are we playing this game? What's this theater? Why are we so comfortable just lying?
It still doesn't justify the actions, though. But at the same time, I get...
Dude, if from February 24th of February 2022 to the 27th of February 2024, there's apparently 444,000 Ukrainian military personnel either killed and wounded.
Either killed or wounded.
Or they wrote "and," but I think it's "or."
Fuck, bro.
And
See what I mean? These people. So that
This is military personnel.
Hold on.
Forget about civilians.
Forget about civilians, even. But hold on, these people now, they deserve that just because our elites want to take over gas pipelines. They deserve that. No. How do they do? Why would I sacrifice a human? I wouldn't sacrifice one human life so a fucking corporation can make money. And now we're willing to sacrifice millions of people and so we could put their flag up.
But this conflict has been going on way before we were made aware that there was an issue with
It wasn't this
Russia
bad,
and
think-
all those eastern provinces now that Russia has claimed has repatriated. They're like, oh yeah, they're ours now. Remember, they moved in, they occupied them, and there was a referendum. They're like, oh, okay, well, the Russians now. There's been issues in those eastern provinces for years.
But we do the same thing. The CIA is responsible for coups, including our country, including Greece, bro. The CIA's been responsible for so much. They do the same thing the Russians do. So they're fighting this secret war, these governments amongst each other.
Well, that's what happens when you have
their special forces. They send in their secret services to fuck around with each other. And us, we just sit there, we change sides. We're allies with the Russians. Then it depends on economically
Here's the
how
thing,
it
yeah.
helps the
this is
deep
basically
state.
the Cold War Part 2.
It's
very
It's
warm.
not really
It's not
cold.
cold
It's
at
not
all.
cold at all. This is
Not the Cold
fucking.
War
It's
at all.
burning hot, bro.
Yeah,
It's burning hot.
Cold War means there's no actual conflict militarily.
It's just it's threats. There's a high level
It's
of
not a Cold War.
Yeah.
There's millions of people dying.
But
It's
even in the Cold
opposite.
War, they had like
No, there was
proxy
no
wars
active
going
war.
on.
No, there was no active war. There were little pockets here and there, like satellite kind
yeah,
of.
we weren't actively. That's why it's a Cold War. Cold War
Okay,
because
okay.
it's cold. It's not. It's all fought with like, let's say, the
Espionage.
space race.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
that's you're winning in the Olympics.
Okay, I
But
get it.
this is no longer. This is hot as fuck. millions of people are dying.
I mean, they were associated. Like, for example, the war in Afghanistan in the 80s. That was a result of the Cold War.
That was a result of the Cold War, and
Vietnam
that was
as
But that was not
Vietnam,
communism versus capitalism.
You know, so but it wasn't direct Russians against the U.S. Like there was, you know, they were
Yeah, they
very
had
careful.
the Taliban get involved.
Yeah. So they were fighting kind of like satellite wars. In any case, let's move on to other things because this is something more interesting, and I want to get your opinion on this since you are in the media business.
Yeah.
There's a story that came out last week about the leader of the PQ, Poseidon Plamondon, who has been getting death threats.
Nice.
I'm not so sure if it's associated to the story that we spoke about before with Beribe. I don't want to believe that's the truth, but it's just the fucking climate now. Being a politician, and you have people behind their fucking screens that can allow themselves to write anything
get
they
death
want.
threats.
Exactly. So, but these were serious death threats. The guy reported, I think 4 or 5 to the SQ. There's been arrests made.
What makes them serious? As
The fact that he's like, if I see you, I'm gonna fucking kill you and your family. Kind
I
of thing.
get those.
Yeah.
I haven't told the cops.
You should. You should. Anyway, so, but this guy's a public figure. He's everywhere. You don't know. People's fucking. They're psychotic. If they. So anyway, so this is happening in the background, and there's a press conference happening last week. Something completely unrelated to that, and Poseidon Plamondon comes out. And he goes, look, I'm just going to address the issue very quickly, and I don't want to make any more comments about it. This is happening. My family's gotten threats. It's been reported, blah, blah, blah. And then he gets emotional. Okay, he gets emotional. He starts crying a little bit. He's like, excuse me. So he leaves. He goes off.
Get your wife's name out of your fucking mouth.
So he goes off in the corner, whatever. You know, he gets his shit.
Composes himself.
He composes himself, comes back, and he finishes, and he asks the media, look, guys, because of, the sensitivity behind the whole thing, please just fucking cut it. Just finish what I said as a statement on this issue that we're here for today. Please leave the other thing. It has nothing to do with the press conference and the statement.
They obviously played it.
So he says that there was like this verbal agreement with the media, and the media obviously played the footage of him kind of being sad and whatever, And then he came out, he's like, fuck's wrong with you fucking people, blah, blah, blah. I told you. So there's a debate now on, is it really the media's fault? They're there to cover what's happening, Should they have not have played this thing?
I'm going to flip this fucking desk. The media is there to just talk about what's happening, except for the 3 or 4 years that they refused to report on what's happening. But now we have to show this guy crying.
No, they were reporting. Get
the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
They were reporting what was happening, but they were reporting what the government was saying.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck out of here.
So they were
bro.
reporting.
Fuck out of here with this bullshit.
I feel bad for the guy. I don't think the media should have fucking done that. It's a fucking low blow. It's like, what do you want? Fucking sensational.
Losers.
The guy's fucking family is being threatened. The guy tells you, please don't put that on. Okay, we're here for a whole other thing. Do me a favor. Most of the news, though, most of the media outlets respected him. I don't know which one. I think it was the Journal de Montréal that played the fucking thing. Anyway, and they're saying, listen, we're journalists. We're there to report. It's of public interest. It's not because you tell us not to report it that we're going to have to do it. I mean, and he's like, but we had a verbal agreement, blah, blah, blah.
And it's not news. That's not news.
The news is
this
that
guy's crying.
Well, no, the news is that your life is being threatened. It's in the news. Look what's happening. But don't fucking put it, bro. Like, there's a certain responsibility. Just fucking respect it, man.
Yeah.
Respect the guy's fucking privacy, So I just found it was a fucking low blow. That's all, And it just goes back to,
This is why people don't respect the media. There are no real journalists anymore.
Yeah.
It's a bloodbath out there.
What can you do?
What did I want to talk to you? Oh, fuck, guys. This actually
Concerns me and him?
no, it doesn't concern anyone, but it's pretty close to us. I mean, there was an article in that press.
Is that the Verdun lunatic?
What's the Verdun lunatic?
The guy that he sexually assaulted 4 women?
What?
Yeah.
We'll find out about in a second. I want to hear about La Presse. So what is that?
La Presse wrote an
toilet
article.
paper writing.
The La Presse wrote an article on Guzzo, and especially this movie theater here in Marché Central, where he's apparently not doing so well financially.
Yeah, because no one goes to the theaters anymore.
He hasn't paid rent in I don't know how long. He's $1 million behind.
Nice.
And the owner of the whole plaza over here is threatening to seek a court order to get him evicted. No, just get fuck off. Bye. Ciao.
What? Repeat that?
You got to start listening to the podcast instead of texting.
There is a procedure happening right now where the owner of the plaza, because he's Guzzo owns him allegedly. I don't know because Guzzo says no, I've been paying him. Fuck him. So I don't know if he's
Which plaza?
right here, Marché Central.
Okay.
And apparently it's millions of dollars he's behind on rent.
No.
And because
Must
the contract,
cost a shit ton every month.
Of course.
That's a huge space he has.
and this guy, I mean, there was the writer's strike. There was no fucking movies. You know, anyways. So Guzzo says that no, the money's being paid. The other guy's like, listen, fuck, we have a contract until 2035. I think I can't fucking keep him here until 35. The guy owes me money, so I don't know if it's happened because the article isn't clear. He's trying to seek a court order to get him evicted. So, so it's crazy, right? Because you think of Guzzo, which has pretty much taken over the fucking movie kind of thing here in Quebec. I mean, when you go to, it's what, Cineplex and Guzzo, no? There's nothing else?
Yeah.
Basically, but it's just every movie theater across North America suffered during the pandemic, all that.
Yeah. But not only that, I mean, do people really go watch movies now?
I want to.
Yeah.
I want to go to the movies. I like going to the
It's
movies.
a different experience. Obviously, it's a much better experience.
No,
It's
and
fucking watching it on a laptop at home.
They're making movies again that are for the big screen. Like I watched Dune.
Yeah, that's a real movie.
Part 2. Wow.
I recently,
wow.
I recently watched Oppenheimer, but I watched that at home like an idiot. But I'm sure that if I had gone to see it in the movies, it would have been a completely different.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy. I mean, can you imagine the Marché Central without a Guzzo? Fuck. Like that's
What are they going to turn it into?
I don't know. They find a million things to do it, but
An
we don't have one. Yeah, it's just across the street.
I mean, they'll move bigger.
But think about it. That's what started the whole Marché Central. It was the Guzzo that fucking brought.
It's true, yeah.
That brought this whole development over here. It's pretty crazy.
I wonder what but you know what they ruined the they made the Walmart. They ruined the parking.
Yeah, the parking's very weird.
It doesn't make any sense, bro. They put all this greenery around. Like it's a
It's
parking
like
lot.
fucking
Man.
13 feet of grass isn't turning this place green, bro. Stop fucking everything up.
Like I don't understand. And then it's one way, but then some of the ways the contract did, it's weird.
Yeah, no, it's
man.
very bad.
They ruined it. They messed it up.
Yeah.
So it's more walking friendly. But I mean, but people are going grocery shop. People aren't gonna walk from the Walmart to home for 30 minutes carrying bags, bro.
Very stupid.
Use your logic.
Go on.
But what's wrong with the fucking? Wait, I don't understand. What's
You
wrong?
haven't been to the Walmart?
I pass in front of it every time I come here. But what's the problem with the parking?
When you go try to park, the way it's separated doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
And-
but that's they're not the only ones.
And
Man. It's
because
always,
people were walking on the grass, but or they were cutting through like the bike lanes. Now they put up like metal poles so you can't cut through the bike lanes. You have to go around everything. You can't
Very
just walk.
stupid.
Like it's so.
You can't just walk straight into the store.
Yeah.
Like the door's right there and you have to circumvent everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
is it
insane.
because they were leaving with the shopping carts? Maybe.
No, it has nothing to do with it. They're just.
even the shopping carts,
This is the
it's super
generation now
complicated.
that's going to take the world down. It's just what happens. We have peaks and valleys. That's all it is you let the 85 IQs take over. That's what happens.
Man, and it's like it had so much potential, bro. But then I see the way it's run, and then I walked into the Walmart and there's fruits that are rotten on display. There are some fruits they're rotting.
Okay,
on
bro,
dis-
that's going to happen in every grocery store. Calm the fuck down.
no.
What's next?
I'm just angry.
Speaking of movies, I don't know if you guys saw. There's rumors that the James Bond franchise found their new actor because Daniel Craig is no longer James Bond. I just wanted to know what you guys think about him. It's
What
this
is
guy
it?
from the Marvel universe, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Oh, he was kick-ass.
Kick-ass, yeah.
I
Kick-ass.
like him.
He was on Money
And he
Train, or
was
no,
in-
not Money Train. The new one with Brad Pitt there.
Bullet Train.
Bullet Train.
I haven't seen him. I haven't seen that movie, but
It's
I
a
like
pretty-
this kid. He's
It's a very good movie, by the way. You
Pretty
enjoy
entertaining,
it.
pretty entertaining movie.
But he's not British.
He is apparently.
Really?
Well,
British, yeah.
I found out on Bullet Train. I'm
Oh,
like,
then
what
perfect.
fucking British
If he's got
accent?
the accent, then I don't see why not. He's going to be a young.
Good-looking fucking kid. He's like in his
he's
early
born-
30s, I think, or late
Yeah.
20s.
33, born in 1990.
Dating a 70-year-old. I like him.
High Wycombe, United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I think he looks good, and I think.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
He's dating a 70-year-old. Wait, is
Yeah,
it?
well, why are you laughing at him, bro?
Is he really?
Who the fuck are you?
No, I thought you were just making fun of her because she looks old, but is she really old?
Yeah, why are you being?
Oh, she's 57, bro. She's not 70.
I don't know, that makes sense.
I mean, you're closer to 70 than you are to 30, no?
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. You're right about that.
Let me talk to you guys about the latest controversy in the Quebec star system.
Ooh, controversy.
Oh, we know what it's gonna be.
You guys know Guillaume Lemay Tivierge?
I was only told about him this week.
This is the funniest shit. I mean,
the
it's not
weekend.
funny, but it's funny. So this guy is I don't know if he's a comedian. I don't know what the fuck he is, but
He's an actor.
But he's a pretty popular guy in Quebec. He hosts or he has hosted a lot of TV shows, award shows. He was the host of that Masked Singer,
I don't
whatever
watch
the fuck.
anything.
Yeah, so they have the equivalent of what they have in the US. They have it here in Quebec. So he's the host of that. This guy, it's not the first time he's in controversy. He was in controversy during COVID. Rightfully so, though. Nobody's come back to that. When he came out, he's like against the vaccines, and he was very outspoken about that. And he lost a fucking endorsement that he had with Hyundai.
Yeah, I was told all this over the weekend. Preach filled me in.
So that on that front, I'm like, fuck, that sucks, bro. Because finally, the guy wasn't that wrong. This time around,
This time he's been losing his mind. They showed me videos.
Bro, go on the email I sent, and there's a video.
They showed me videos, bro, of him. There was an award show, the Gémeaux, I think, and there's a chick, this blonde woman, Véronique Cloutier, I think. her name is.
Yeah, from
So,
Music Plus.
I don't know who this woman is.
What?
But yeah.
That was my first crush, bro. Véronique
But here's
Cloutier
what's funny.
That's
is
so weird for you to say.
So
Véronique
people,
Cloutier was
people are
fucking
showing,
hot, bro.
so
Music Plus, bro.
I'm at the bordel Monday night. So the comics are showing me to try to show me what he did, like how he's been going crazy, right? So they're showing me this, and a hot chick. He got up and he just took over the award show to spew. It was nonsense.
No
about how
way.
nonsense.
Oh my.
And then it cuts back to her, and her bro like a fucking pro, like just nothing. And then I go, fuck, bro. I go, the good looking woman is very like professional, and she knows what she's doing. And the comics are like, bro, she's like one of the biggest people in media. She has the most experience, of course. She's like, you know, I go, I don't know who the fuck these people are.
You never watched Music Plus?
I think I did, but I was young. I don't remember.
Bro,
this one.
Véronique Cloutier was the fucking hottest thing for like a 13-year-old boy watching Music Plus. I was like, what the fuck
I
is
saw
this?
that video. Still gorgeous.
Of course, she's fucking
Gorgeous woman.
Of course, she's
That's
beautiful,
who should
man.
be representing Quebec.
She's beautiful.
That's for me. That's the prime minister.
I love Véronique Cloutier, bro. She's
Yeah,
fucking
awesome
hot.
chick. So she's super
Oh,
professional.
yeah, she's a hottie.
Yeah, and super
How
professional.
did you guys not know Véronique Cloutier,
I'm sorry.
bro? What the
Now
fuck?
I know. Now I know.
Why is it giving me pictures of Indian women?
So super professional, bro. She took it, and I was like, bro, this is a pro. This woman's a pro, and that's when the comics were laughing. They're like, yeah, of course she's a pro. Like that's like one of our biggest pros.
Well,
You fucking
obviously,
idiot.
yeah.
You know? So anyways, so they let me know about all the stuff. This guy's been going off the rails for a while. He's just losing.
He's not
it.
okay, bro. But so this time around, it's a video of him. He did an Instagram video, whatever. He's walking in the forest, and he's like, you know, we're working hard, on travaille fort,
Yeah,
you know,
preach
and
to me,
you know, there's an expression in French, du gros boulot. But boulot is also a tree.
Yeah.
So, and he's like, "Ouais, du gros boulot," and then he starts hugging a tree, and on the tree they've carved the N-word.
Yeah. I
don't know who it is.
I have carved the N-word. So Preach told me that it's because the saying in Quebec says travailler comme un N-word,
N-word,
working like an
N-word,
N. Okay. So he says what he was trying to make was a joke about that.
Yeah.
So that's,
But he kind of flipped it. He goes du gros boulot, you know?
because he's not gonna say it.
Yeah. Il y a une expression travailler, tu sais, du gros boulot, but the real expression he was referring to is that one. You know, travailler comme un N-word.
Yeah, that's what Preach informed me about all this.
That's it.
He gave me the skinny. So then,
But you gotta be
so
fucking.
far, I have no problem with any of this, okay? I have no problem with any of this. Here's my problem. My problem is his excuse of, I didn't see the word. That's
You
crazy.
cannot see it,
So
bro.
what I know what the truth is, this is the truth. He's walking by his forest. He sees that.
Yeah.
He says, I got an edgy line.
Yeah.
They're going to love this. But he's not a comedian. So it just looks insane. What he should have said was the truth. Guys, I thought you were all going to laugh. It's like a funny joke. I get that it made no sense, especially coming from me, so it just looks super racist. I apologize. I think people would have been like, okay, the guy's a fucking moron. The problem where he lost everyone is because he took everyone that's black and white in this whole province as a fucking idiot by saying, I didn't fucking see the N-word.
It's so fucking big.
It's so stupid. It's like, okay, so first you were kind of making fun of black people. Now you're making fun of everyone. You think we're all fucking stupid. Like, so it's just, yeah, I get it.
I started laughing because they had told me first I saw his explanation. I didn't know. I'm like, what the fuck is this about? And he's like saying, guys, I woke up. You know, my friend called me. She's like, what the hell did you do? He's like, what the hell did I do? She goes, what the fuck? He goes, oh my god, I didn't even see it. I'm like, poor guy. What the fuck did he not see? And then I see the video.
You start dying.
And I start laughing. I'm like, your excuse makes no fucking sense.
It's and me and Preach. So Preach was this before the apology video. Preach was sending it to me. I think it was Saturday. Preach is he's like, have you seen this? Because I don't know the guy. He's like, no, so we're laughing. Preach is like, bro, and Preach explains the saying.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my god, and then because I was like, I said like something like I didn't see it or whatever. Like I don't get what the big deal is. And then Preach is like, did you see the word? I go, did I see it? Bro, I'm the one who wrote it. No, me and Preach are in messages dying about it, but neither of us expected the excuse, bro. So the next day, I see the fucking excuse. I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro.
I didn't see it. You're fucking slapping a fucking tree. It's like fucking a foot diameter, bro. And you're seeing. How do you not see it? How do you fucking not see it, man?
I saw the video. He 100% saw it. He even kind of made like a little. He almost like smirked even at some point.
Oh man.
Oh, it was very funny.
Fucking, yeah,
It's hilarious.
It's very funny.
So, needless to say, he lost his job on the Masked
I
Singer.
invited him to the French cast.
You said it, but it
Yeah. I'm like, hey, you should come on the French cast. hey, nobody else is gonna have him on now. He may as well come somewhere.
You're trying to ruin this guy's little career he has left.
Bro, we can resuscitate
There's
it.
no way, bro. I'm gonna invite Preach as a co-host.
I was just about to suggest that.
I sent him an Instagram message.
So apparently, was it?
Did he reply?
I think
Actually?
Preach told me it was either Preach or Simon. Someone told me that there's a black woman in the media that he's done something with before, and she said like, "What the fuck's he up to?" So he messaged her and said, "Come on, tell him that we're friends." And she's like, "But we're not friends." Is it? Tell him I didn't mean anything wrong. She's like, "I don't know what the fuck you meant. I'm not saying any of this." So she goes on and goes, "This guy's a fucking moron."
Yeah. First of all, I'm surprised.
Honestly, he should have. You know what he should have done? I said this. He should
Tell
have
the truth.
Tell
Look,
the truth.
I thought I was making an edgy joke and
Yeah.
you're all gonna laugh. Turns out, I have no sense of humor. I'm not funny at all. Anything I say that's race related only comes off as racist. I gotta keep my mouth shut. That's because that's the truth.
No.
There's some people who could make jokes about anything because you know they're fucking around.
Yeah.
This guy is a known lunatic. Bro, he went on an award show. What happened at the award show? Apparently, there was these two directors. It was like a big thing for these two young directors. Bro, this guy comes on, is like a Kanye West moment, but dumber. He's like, I got this. And then he's like, us. He's like, we. He's like, us. We're influencers. People look up to us. We're the best. We're better than everyone. So we gotta set an example. And people are like, what the fuck's he talking about? What the fuck?
How did she cover it up?
Veronique?
Yeah.
Bro, like a goddamn professional. She's like, thanks to that retard. All right, so no. Bro, like a
Thanks, retard.
fucking pro. I was watching, I go, unfazed, bro. The woman,
It felt like it was planned. She made it look like it was part of the thing.
probably, bro, I feel bad that I don't know more about her. Probably like one of the best broadcasters in Quebec. Bro, like I was watching, I was like, ooh, what's gonna happen to this broad?
Dude, her
Gets the mic back, like gets the
As if
camera on
nothing
her.
happened.
Bro, as if nothing happened. And I'm like, bro, I'm jealous. Because I would have said a joke.
Yeah.
I would have been like, I'm very sorry for that mental handicap.
she's a huge personality.
Awesome.
Her and her husband used to produce the Bye Bye.
I know the director of the Bye Bye. He's our boy.
Oh yeah, that was his face.
Simon
Yeah.
Olivier Fecteau.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if he came in because I don't know if they still have it. I don't know if he came in after them, but her and her husband had the production of the Bye Bye, which was a huge thing. So yeah, no, very well known personality, man. Fuck,
I'm starting to know more people.
Dude, I had a huge crush on Véronique Loutier, bro, on fucking Music Plus. Find
Broad,
pictures of her on Music
broad,
Plus.
very good
Yeah,
looking.
She was like a
good looking,
19,
yeah.
20-year-old chick that they brought in when I was like a fucking high schooler, and I was like, who the hell is that?
Still beautiful right now.
Yeah.
The lady's gorgeous.
Goddamn gorgeous.
Yeah.
She's a great businesswoman too.
That's good, bro.
Amazing
Bro,
businesswoman.
Google. I just realized I typed in just Veronique, and it gave me like Indian women from India.
Yeah, because that's
Well,
her
yeah,
name.
because that's a first name. That could be anyone.
Yeah, but do you know any Indian women named
What are you
Veronique?
talking about? You don't know?
Bro,
No, it's a very common name in
I've
India.
met black
Really?
guys with
No,
Greek.
fuck.
I've met black guys with Greek names, bro. So nothing surprising.
That's different. Really?
Yanis.
Yanis.
Yeah, but that's different, bro. Hold on.
That's for real. You didn't know that? Alexander, Philip, all that. They love Greek names.
Yeah. I don't know if I told this story already. I was working with back in the day with a leader of the Pakistani community. We were just chit-chatting, whatever. And I don't know how the conversation came to Alexander the Great. And he's like, Alexander the Great, even today in Pakistan, they still see him in high regard, and they saw him as a god back then, blah, blah, blah. And that his name is very popular in Pakistan. I'm like, Alexander? He goes, no, Iskandar. He goes, Iskandar comes from Alexander. So
that's their version of Alexander.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's kind of because some people do something stupid linguistically, like they just instead of changing completely or using the same one, they change it just a bit. For example, Constantinople, Istanbul, right? Istanpolis.
Yeah, it means to the city, in the city.
Which is Constantinople, the city of Costa, let's say, Costa. So we would always say
also,
the city. That's how we call it. Even in Greek now, when we refer to the city, we're referring to Constantinople.
Yeah.
So they took the exact same thing. They just, so like you can't
with
call
a Turkish accent.
with a Turkish accent, but it's the same fucking word.
Yeah. But the Turkish called it Constantinople just in Turkish.
But not Constantinople, they called it the city.
Yeah, it's like the Greeks calling the flori. It's the floor. It's not Greek, but you made it Greek.
Yeah, we do that. Torufi.
Yeah.
But that's idiots, yeah.
Same concept.
So Iskandar, I know that, yeah. But yeah, so I didn't know about. So anyways,
that's the best one.
So this is what I learned about Quebec media over this weekend. This guy, Guillaume,
he's pretty much done, right?
he's lost his. No, I'm just saying what I know about them.
Yeah.
Lost his mind. The other lady, I found out, but this wasn't now. This was months ago. She did the Jumeau, Veronique, probably the best broadcaster in the country, maybe, bro. Bro, I've seen people get more phased broadcasting like American award shows for lesser stuff.
She has a bunch of shows, bro. She has a I can't remember what show she has. Les Enfants de la Télé or some shit like that.
Bro, this is the best broadcaster in the country.
She's amazing.
This is the best broadcaster in the country, bro. I'm telling you, I've seen in huge American award shows, people get phased by less. The guy could have stabbed someone in the front row, and she would have probably played off. Oh, look, while the ambulance is taking him over, we're talking about pro to like the max level.
I want to go see that clip now. But Véronique Cloutier is considered fucking royalty, bro, in the star system here in Quebec.
To me, she's considered royalty now,
Jesus Christ, man, yeah. Speaking of Alexander, did you see that new thing on Netflix about Alexander?
No, I watched the first 5 minutes when he went to suck a dude's dick, and I was like, this is not for me.
In the first 5 minutes?
It's Netflix, bro. Everyone's gay.
Wow, bro.
But it's actually not so bad because it's not like here's a movie about Alexander the Great. I don't know. It's like a sort of a.
Here's a movie about two Greek dudes.
It's sort of like I don't know what the thing is. It's kind of like a documentary because they have archaeologists.
It's not a documentary.
Hold on.
They make reference to because they.
Yeah, but you can't do that. You can't make an artistic decision.
What do you call it? What do you call that fucking style? Where you have the archaeologists talking about it and they're going back.
Yeah, that was not a documentary, bro.
You can't say it's a documentary by saying I'm talking 10 minutes about history and then I'm doing my artistic interpretation of what he was like and then go back. You can't do that. It's one or the other.
I also find that kind of made him seem a little like psychopathic almost.
Maybe he was, bro.
Maybe
which 24-year-old do you know that fucking conquers half of the fucking known world? You got to be a little fucking mental.
But another thing is, a lot of historians were mad at that documentary because
there's no historical. We've already been through this with Phil. There's no historical. We know why some people say he's gay, but we've already disproven. The historians have already disproven. It's just because. Literal translations. So the word love in Greek, right? Yeah. There's more than one word. So we can describe specific loves. They took because he loved his best friend like how I love him, let's say, for example.
Like a brother.
And, even though it's not the romantic love, they just said, well, in English, there's one word, so he must have loved him. But there is the passionate love.
Yeah.
And they didn't use that word for him because he wasn't banging him. He had, I forgot how many wives. He was banging everyone across the planet. Like, it's so stupid.
Didn't he bang Darius's wife?
He banged everyone. Yeah. He banged everyone. His whole thing was this guy was.
Well, she was pregnant when she died.
Yeah, this was progressive.
Or she had just given birth. Yeah, whatever.
He did it on purpose. He was having he was marrying the royalty of the places he was taking over, and he was asking his generals to also take them as wives. So he goes, so you could mix. He goes so that the cultures can mix and it can be stronger. He goes, you can't have a state if it's separate and there's like a slave class. You can't have that. He goes, you have to mix in order so you progress. You take good stuff from them, they take good stuff from us, and we progress further. No one was doing that. Dude, World War II was the opposite of that. It was kill everyone that's different. No one was doing that till only now. People are like, There's no difference really. You can
But
marry
also-
whoever you want.
yeah, but
no
also-
one was doing that back then. That was innovative.
But also, mind you,
and hold on, because the historians really got mad at the battles of this documentary because apparently, like the battles they just made it seem like they just charged at each other.
no, he
But
was the
there
most strategic person ever.
He was very strategic, and part of the reason
But
why they
that's why I
conquered. Hold on,
appreciated
I'm
having
speaking,
those
bro. My
archaeologists
sentence
there,
is
yeah.
not even
Go,
done,
go, go,
bro.
go.
God damn it, George. Apparently, why they conquered so many armies is because they had those gigantic long spears, and that they would kind
Like I
of.
said,
Like,
apparently.
It wasn't. It was also the formation that they had.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
could, it
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
impenetrable.
One of the
100%.
craziest, you know what he did? One of the craziest things is in India. So when he gets to India, the war elephants were waiting for him on the other side. I forgot what the Ganges River, or whatever, on the other side of the banks. Now, they had went and scouted, and they saw that down along there was a part where the water at night gets low enough that they could walk through, and it's here till their necks.
Really?
What they did is they set these giant fires, all that, like they had set up camp right across the opposing army so that they see them. And that was all a ruse. In the dead of night, he snuck a good portion of the soldiers to go down the river so that when the water goes down at early morning, like 5 a.m, they cross through. So then what happened was they crossed through. They were ready to attack. When the water was like leveled in front and people thought they were going to go from the front, they got fucking flanked.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he would do shit like that. He was a sneaky cocksucker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But he's
Very clever.
Of
Yeah.
course, but just to go back to what you're saying about we never saw that in World War II. They killed everyone. In many occasions, Alexander the Great was seen as a liberator because they were occupied by Persia at that time, right? So
Yeah.
they're like, oh, this guy's gonna come and fucking
Well, he's
save
the
us.
last pharaoh of Egypt.
Not the last one.
Really?
The last pharaoh of Egypt, Alexander.
There wasn't anyone after him.
Alexander's
Wasn't there Cleopatra?
Well, Cleopatra.
Alexander's the last pharaoh of Egypt, bro.
Really?
Alexander's the last pharaoh of Egypt, bro. Last king of Egypt is Alexander, babe.
No way.
I don't. Yeah, after that, I don't consider Egypt even existing.
Why?
No, it was yeah. 'Cause I
Wasn't
don't-
it the sickly guy, the last pharaoh?
No, I think the last pharaoh of Egypt was him, and then I don't think they were considered pharaohs after. I think they had like another. I think it was queen. Like Cleopatra was a queen.
They say Cleopatra.
As
Well,
a
it's the
pharaoh?
last ruler. Maybe you're looking at
the last ruler,
Yeah, she's the last ruler, but,
Yeah, but not pharaoh.
Just type last pharaoh.
I did, and it says Cleopatra.
No, she wasn't a pharaoh. She was a queen.
Hold on, let me type
Maybe
in.
And also
Alexander.
Cleopatra was his. It was his general's kids. It was the Ptolemaic dynasty.
Yeah.
She's another Greekster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But if you listen to Netflix, she's Haitian.
Oh yeah.
No, but guys, think about that, man. The guy at 23, 24 years old. It's fucking, what a fucking incredible
Look at the whole world.
accomplishment. Are you
How
kidding me?
crazy
man?
is that?
Bro, what do 24-year-olds do today, bro? Okay, do you see them leading hundreds of thousands of
They're
people?
jerking off and playing Helldivers against him.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What are the comments
So what else
say?
you get?
George being a Guido.
What did you?
guys talking
What?
about?
What the fuck is talking? What does he do?
Oh, because you interrupted my sentence. But by the way, I gotta talk to you after.
Who, me? Oh.
No, not him.
Am I gonna laugh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all this to say about the Netflix stuff, I'm very upset. So this is what we learned about media today. We learned that Véronique Cloutier, her last name?
Yeah, Cloutier.
Véronique Cloutier, best broadcaster in the country. Guillaume Le Métier Vierge. Is that his name? Le Métier Vierge?
Le May,
Le May-
Yeah.
Le Métier Vierge has lost his goddamn mind. What else did we learn about Quebec media? Politics. Our journalists don't exist. They just like showing people crying. They don't really tackle real news. They're bought and paid for. Anthony Housefather, still a dickhead. Yeah, not much has changed in this country.
Let's wrap it up, guys. It's 11:30. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you so much for following. Do subscribe. Patreon.com/Pantelis for all exclusive content. If you're free tonight, Wednesday at 8 p.m. at Playground.
Playground
Casino?
Poker, come watch some stand-up comedy in the most horrific conditions to do stand-up comedy in, and then stick around to play some slot machines, ruin your life on a poker table. Come have fun at
and waste
Playground
all your
Poker.
life savings. Leave Poseidon69, I'm Poseidon.com. And if you know or understand French, head on over to Politiquement Parlant. We're having some amazing guests that are going to
Yes.
keep coming on the show.
Politiquement Parlant, which is quickly becoming a lot of comics' favorite political podcast here in Quebec, the French one. So check out what all the fuss is about. Politiquement Parlant with George and some other dude.
Thank you, everyone. See you next week.
Ciao.